lasted about 5 minutes out there. I said, to heck with this. I'll do this in the morning. And I don't have any inside information. The lady that did it, she got in there. She made it happen.
And he doesn't shy away from opinion.
And I do enjoy drinking cold beer at ballparks. So if that makes me a baseball fan, then I'm a diehard baseball fan.
It's Hacker After Dark on 1010XL.
And a very good Wednesday evening to you, Jacksonville. It is Hacker After Dark, 1010XL, 92.5 FM with Dylan Denmark. The Hacker Ryan Green with you. Glad you are with us. A Wednesday that finds the attention for the Jacksonville Jaguars, getting away from the win on Monday night and focusing now on the Seattle Seahawks, the 3-2 Seattle Seahawks, making the trip to Jacksonville this Sunday, a 1 o'clock kick at Everbank Stadium. Of course, you will hear the game right here on 1010XL, and 2 hours after the Jaguars and the Seahawks go final, we will have the fifth quarter for you. Myself, the Pro Bowler Leon Searcy, and the coach Gerald Ingram. We will be at Hurricane Grill and Wings in the San Marco area, so we invite you to stop on by, and hopefully we will be talking about the 5-1 Jacksonville Jaguars. Speaking of Gerald Ingram and Leon Searcy, both the coach and the Pro Bowler will join me tonight here on Hacker After Dark as we will do a deep dive into the 4-1 Jacksonville Jaguars, get their thoughts on the Monday night game, but certainly look ahead now to the Seattle contest coming up on Sunday. So again, the coach Gerald Ingram and the Pro Bowler Leon Searcy will be joining us this evening. And I was down in the Jaguar locker room earlier today at the Miller Electric Center, actually just a couple hours ago. They had a late practice today because of Monday Night Football. I actually got out of there about 5:30 this afternoon, had the opportunity to go one-on-one with tight end Hunter Long and offensive lineman Jonah Monheim. And both of those guys' roles potentially could be very much enhanced. We know Hunter Long's role will be enhanced because Brenton Strange is on IR. He's going to be out for at least 4 games. Very likely, I would say, not certain, but very likely that Jonah Monheim's role will expand this week. Of course, Robert Hainsey did leave the game on Monday night against Kansas City, did not return. Jonah Monheim, the 7th-round rookie out of Southern Cal, went in there and did a pretty good job in crunch time in the fourth quarter against Chris Jones and that Chiefs defense. And we'll see if he gets the start this week. We'll see what Hainsey's availability is during the week. I know earlier today they did a lot of things at practice, but according to the injury report, Hainsey did not participate. There were reports that he was working off to the side. I did see Robert in the locker room down there, so we'll see what happens during the week. But it would not surprise me if Jonah Monheim's role is expanded on Sunday. So you will hear both of my conversations with Jonah Monheim and Hunter Long coming up here in the next 20 minutes or so on a Wednesday night edition of Hacker After Dark. So we're glad you're with us. We're here till 10 o'clock. We'll do a little college football talk as well in the 9 o'clock hour. Boy, Florida State, you talk about a crossroads game for the Seminoles this weekend. Just 12 short days ago, Florida State 3-0. All is right with the world in the top 10. Then you lose in double overtime to Virginia. You lose to Miami in a game that was really not as close as the final score would indicate. And now all of a sudden you're at 3-2. And if they lose on Saturday, that Mike Norvell talk will start again over there. Again, Florida State's just 5-12 in their last 17 games. And 2 of those 5 wins were against East Texas A&M and Kent State. So a huge game against Pitt for Florida State on Saturday. Kurt Weiler of Tomahawk Nation will also stop by later on in the program. Every night here on Hacker After Dark, we do kick it off with a big deal of the night and Dylan Denmark. Let's do that right now.
Time now for the big deal of the night.
What's the big deal? What is the big deal?
No big deal. It is a big deal.
On Hacker After Dark.
You know, I talked one night ago about having the answer to the Jaguars responding to adversity. We know that answer. That answer is a resounding yes at this point. There's no doubt about it. This team knows how to respond to adversity. This team has responded to adversity. In fact, this team has passed the test of responding to adversity. But because they've responded so well, that now begs the question, how will they handle success? How will they handle the pats on the back and the more coverage and the more talk nationally? You know, I see all these power rankings that have them in the top 10 or the top 5. You haven't been able to turn on ESPN or the NFL Network, CBS Sports in the last 36 hours and not seen something in regards to the Jacksonville Jaguars. Now, prior to 36 hours ago, I wasn't sure if any of these national networks even knew the Jaguars existed. Apparently they do, because they're actually talking about the Jaguars right now. And I asked a lot of the guys in the locker room today. I asked Jonah Monheim. I asked Hunter Long. You will hear those conversations. You will hear their answers about that coming up in a moment. Also asked a couple of others as well. The vibe I got from the Jaguar locker room, they're a confident bunch. And why shouldn't they be? At 4-1 with back-to-back wins over Houston, San Francisco, and Kansas City, Texans, 49ers, Chiefs, WWW. You absolutely should be a confident bunch if you pull that off. But in saying that, I also got the vibe that it's not a cockiness. To me, there is a difference between a cockiness and a confidence. The Jacksonville Jaguars, to me, are the latter. And none of them really said it, but again, you just read between the lines at some of the responses. I get the vibe that they don't want people talking about them. They don't want this national coverage. They wish they could go under the radar the entire year. I think you have a lot of guys in that locker room that enjoy being the underdog. You have a lot of guys in that locker room that enjoy playing with a chip on their shoulder. And regardless of how much people talk about Jacksonville as the wins accumulate, and regardless of all the coverage they will get if they continue to play like this year, I get the sense that it won't go to their heads. Now, some people, teams in the past, have been guilty of reading press clippings, right? Have been guilty of thinking they were better than they really were. Maybe look back to the 2023 Jacksonville Jaguars as a prime example of that. I don't get the vibe that's this team. I mean, you think about all the free agents they brought in here. From Jordan Lewis to Hunter Long to Johnny Munt to Patrick McCarry to Robert Hainsey, right? Eric Murray, on down the line. I just get the vibe that those are blue-collar guys. They've never been given anything. They've had to work for everything. You think about the draft picks that I brought in here. How many people have told Travis Hunter he can't play both ways? It's not possible. How many people have told Bashal Tootin he's too short? How many people have told Jack Kaiser he's too old to be a rookie? How many people have told all these guys these different things, right? And then the guys that were here, you know, Trevor and Josh Allen and Trayvon and all these guys, most of which that went through that 2023 season, that went through 8-3 and the bottom falling out because maybe they read a little bit too much of their press clippings and then ultimately injuries succumb their season. I don't think that's going to happen this time around. Now, I'm not telling you they're going to go 16-1, 15-2, or 14-3 because I don't expect that to happen. But what I will tell you is I'm pretty confident at this point that this team's not going away. This team isn't going to fall off a cliff like that 2023 team did. This team enjoys being disrespected. This team enjoys being the underdog. This team enjoys having the chip on their shoulder. And I think they will continue to use that as we continue in this 2025 season. Liam Cohen certainly will look for any motivation, right? How about the motivation maybe, just maybe, they got from 1010XL earlier today? How about Dempsey on Jaguars Today? Denmark, you tell me. I saw the clip. I got my guy Curtis Crabtree from Seattle coming on with us tomorrow night. I don't think he'll make this mistake. Denmark, I saw this on social media, and I will tell you that it was a conversation in the Jaguar locker room. There were people talking about this. Did you guys on Jaguars Today have a guy in Seattle coming on basically talking smack about Trevor Lawrence on
Yeah,
our
you want to
air?
hear the clip?
I would love to hear.
All right,
Now
10
who is
seconds.
this? What's his name?
This is oh my goodness. Hang on.
It's a Seattle radio guy, right?
Ian Furness. He's with the KGR.
Okay, yeah, I would love to hear this clip.
Where do you think Seattle's biggest advantage potentially will be in the matchup against the Jags on Sunday?
Quarterback. Simple. Quarterback. Your guy's not very good.
Ooh.
And he went on for another minute, but
Your
that's
guy's
essentially what he
not very good. Hey, you know what? Liam Cohen obviously likes bulletin board material. They use the Robert Saleh thing to their advantage. The fact is they're coming off a physical, emotional win on Monday night. You would think they would be due for a letdown. And if it takes a Seattle radio guy coming on 1010XL to provide said motivation, I hope this gets back to Liam Cohen. I hope this gets back into the Jaguar locker room. Again, I will tell you that it was a talking point in the Jaguar locker room 2.5 hours ago that some random dude from Seattle comes on our air, the home of the Jacksonville Jaguars, and says, we're going to have the advantage at quarterback because, quote, your guy is not very good. Okay. Well, go talk to the Kansas City Chiefs about that because Trevor Lawrence looked damn good in that game-winning drive on Monday night. We will head back into the Jaguar locker room. My one-on-one conversations with Jonah Monheim and Hunter Long. We'll also let you hear from the head coach, Liam Cohen, and maybe a little bit of Trevor Lawrence, who that Seattle radio personality said is not very good. We might hear Trevor's thoughts on this 4-1 start as well. Jacksonville, we're glad you're with us. It's a Wednesday night in Northeast Florida with Dylan Denmark, the hacker Ryan Green with you till 10 o'clock right here. It's Hacker After Dark.
He's our big hitter.
I'm Jaguars Today's middle linebacker, Tom McManus.
He tackles Jags talk from a middle linebacker's point of view. Fridays on 1010XL. Protected by Renewal by Anderson Custom Windows and Doors. Proud partner of the Jacksonville Jaguars.
Blue here for the Blue Crab House, located right off of San Jose. It's on Jewington Creek Road. They've been around since 1996. Indoor-outdoor dining. Also, takeout is available at the Blue Crab House. Open 4:30 to 9, Tuesday through Saturday. Sunday, noon until 9. Remember, Tuesday, $2 margaritas. Wednesday, $1 oyster night. How about the blue crabs? How about my personal favorite, the Canadian snow crabs? Whatever it is that you fancy, you get it right there. The Blue Crab House.
Frank Frangie here for Stanley Pools. If you're dreaming of putting in a pool this year, choosing the right company is the most important decision you'll make. I've trusted Stanley Pools to build my pool, renovate my pool, and maintain my pool. Stanley Pools has been the best in the business since 1988, and they're still family-owned. Call them today at 904-269-7277 or find them online at StanleyPoolsFL.com. That's Stanley Pools, a family tradition of fine swimming pools.
XL Primetime is back weekdays noon to 2, and on Wednesdays, join Dr. George Bari at 1:20 for the latest in sports injuries from all the big names in the game. Make sure you catch Dr. George Bari on XL Primetime Wednesdays at 1:20 on 1010XL 92.5 FM.
If you are an experienced electrician looking for your next big opportunity, look no further than the Miller Electric Company, a trusted name in the industry for over 96 years. At Miller Electric, we tackle the biggest projects in the city, offering you the chance to showcase your skills on a grand scale. We believe in rewarding hard work with the best pay, top-notch benefits, and an unbeatable culture where people actually care about each other. Take your career to new heights with Miller Electric Company. Apply today at millercareers.com. Miller Electric, an equal opportunity employer.
Get ready. Week 6 of the NFL season is officially here. Your Jacksonville Jaguars are gearing up to go head-to-head with the Seattle Seahawks in our crucial catch game dedicated to the fight against cancer. Join us October 12th at Everbank Stadium as we raise awareness through early detection, risk reduction, and education. Lock in your tickets now at jaguars.com/tickets or call 904-633-2000. We'll see you at the bank.
Bueller. Stay cooler with Bueller.
Hey, pal, you look troubled. Is something bugging you?
This friendship isn't all upside for me, Jason. People keep asking me stuff about you.
They ask you about me?
Is it really cooler with Bueller, they ask. So I say, totally. And they say, how do you mean that? And I say, he fixes air conditioners, which literally makes somebody cool. But he also has cool sunglasses and cool people and a cool family.
And I try to make working at Bueller Air and Plumbing a really cool experience for our technicians and plumbers. We treat our people like gold, and they treat our homeowners the exact same way.
Great. Well, now there's another cool thing I've got to remember. This is a lot of responsibility, Jason.
Life can get hectic sometimes. If you don't take a moment to slow down and appreciate all the cool parts, you could miss it.
Do people ask you about me at all?
Weirdly, they do.
Stay cooler with Bueller.
Visit BuellerAir.com.
Get in the zone, AutoZone.
Annie's first oil change wasn't as hard as she thought because she went to AutoZone, where a friendly AutoZoner helped her find the right oil and save on an oil filter. He explained the job and showed her free how-tos on AutoZone.com. When she was done, AutoZone recycled her old oil for free. No hassles, just help. Everything you need, nothing you don't.
Get in the zone, AutoZone.
Restrictions apply.
Here's a health and wellness tip from orthopedic specialists of Jacksonville.
Here's a simple tip for shoulder health to improve your posture. Slouching can put extra stress on your shoulders, leading to pain and injury. Make sure your head is over your shoulders are relaxed and pulled back, and your spine is properly aligned. Whether you're sitting or standing, if you sit for long periods of time, make sure to get up and take breaks and work on pulling your shoulders back. Get up and get moving, Jacks, and go Jags.
Stay healthy with orthopedic specialists of Jacksonville. 1010XL, presented by Farah and Farah, exclusive injury law firm of the Jacksonville Jaguars. Still present, ready. Farah doesn't flinch. Hacker After Dark on 1010XL.
Yes, it is. Glad you're with us. 1010XL and 92.5 FM. We will go inside the Jaguar locker room in just one moment. I was down there a couple hours ago after their practice today. Had one-on-one conversations with tight end Hunter Long and offensive lineman Jonah Monheim, and you will hear those conversations coming up in less than 5 minutes. Quickly to Jaguar head coach Liam Cohen. He also met the media earlier today down at the Miller Electric Center. And one of the things I talked about last night was, again, we know how the team handles adversity. We know how the team responds to adversity. Now the question is, how do you handle success? How do you handle 4-1? How do you handle the best start for the franchise dating back to 2007? More on that in a moment. Here is Jaguar head coach Liam Cohen on the team's handling of success.
I don't want to say we're the most pissed off 4-1 team, but like there's definitely some feelings in the building over the last few days of knowing that we have not still put out 60 minutes of our best football. I think specifically on the defensive side, there was some frustrations in some of the things that we gave up, and specifically in the run game, that we didn't probably have our best efforts in stopping the run, something that we had been doing at a pretty good level there. And and then same thing offensively, right? We punted twice, but we had the fumble at the end, at the goal line there, and then the turnover that we got to continue to try to take care of the football at a higher click. And I think they just know that there was some meat left on the bone even after a really cool win.
A pissed off 4-1 football team. I'm telling you, man, Liam Cohen, he gets it. You look for anything motivationally speaking to get your team fired up. And again, this is a perfect letdown game. And I'm going to say it till I'm blue in the face all week. And I think everybody else is going to say it as well. You've just went on back-to-back-to-back wins over the Texans, who were the AFC South favorite coming in, over the San Francisco 49ers. You're the only team to beat the 49ers this year. They're 4-1 too. And you just beat Mahomes and the Chiefs for the first time ever. You're about to go to London next week to play Liam Cohen and James Gladstone's former team in the LA Rams. And sandwiched right in the middle is this game against the Seattle Seahawks. This has letdown game. This is the picture of letdown game in the dictionary. A picture of Everbank Stadium, Sunday, October 12th, Seattle and Jacksonville. You look for anything to get your guys motivated. And again, being inside the Jaguar locker room, I will tell you, I was actually a little bit surprised how quickly they wanted to put Kansas City to bed and talk about Seattle. That game ended less than 48 hours ago. But the guys were locked in on the task at hand, which is Seattle, which to me is pretty impressive. All right, Jonah Monheim coming up in one moment. Earlier today, I got a chance to catch up with tight end Hunter Long. You guys know he's already one of my favorites, and he's got an expanded role now. Brenton Strange is on IR. He's going to miss at least the next 4 games. That means Quentin Morris. That means Johnny Munt. And, of course, that means Hunter Long needs to step up. I asked Hunter about that and a lot more. Here is that one-on-one conversation on Hacker After Dark.
Inside the Jaguar locker room, Jaguars getting ready for the Seattle Seahawks. We got Jaguar tight end Hunter Long here with us on 1010XL. Hunter, out practice, go out there today.
Yeah, a little slower day, but mentally, just same as always. You know, it's a little bit short of a week coming off a Monday Night Football game, but, you know, just got to be able to adapt to the schedules and treat this week like a professional and be on top of your stuff. So it was good mentally, and we'll get back to, you know, running around a little bit tomorrow.
Interesting week for you, obviously, with Brenton being put on IR. How does that change your role with this football team moving forward?
Yeah, I mean, I'm sure it's going to be an uptick in plays, but it's not going to change, you know, how I've attacked each week to now, and it's not going to change how I attack, you know, weeks going forward. This whole room has been ready to go every snap. This year, obviously, we're going to miss Stranger. They're a hell of a player. Brought juice, made a bunch of plays. But without him, we got to pick up the slack and keep this thing rolling and keep getting wins and do whatever we can to help this offense, help this football team. That's what we're going to do.
There seems to be a confidence among the fan base, the coaching staff, in you and Johnny and Quentin. Do you sense that? There doesn't seem to be a lot of worry about this.
Yeah, definitely sense that. It's just the way everyone in this room's attacked this offense and attacked this process, you know, since the start of camp. Just attacking on the field, practice, mental reps, you know, when we're not in there. We're just staying ready to go. And everyone's attacked it that way to this point, and that's not going to change moving forward.
I know all eyes moving forward, but the fact that the 4-1 start here, it's the first time since 2007 this team has been 4-1. Obviously a lot of newness in this locker room, but the excitement in this city is palpable. You saw that in the stadium. Just what's your thought on the fan base and their reaction to you guys on Monday night?
Yeah, I mean, the fans were unreal. The stadium was rocking, and it obviously plays a part. Home field advantage is, you know, it's being in LA, not many home fans show up, so most home games are away games, so it's nice to finally have a change where you know, we get some true home field advantage. But yeah, fans are great. You can definitely feel the energy. But as a football team, you know, we can't get ahead of ourselves. You know, we're 4-1, but you gotta treat each week as its own thing. So you celebrate a win for 24 hours, but now we're on Seattle 0-0. Get a win this week and get the 5-1.
And that leads me to my next question. I mean, a win like that, what can that do for this team moving forward?
Yeah, I mean, it's like I said the past couple of weeks. It just is more proof in our process. You know, our process isn't going to change, but obviously it's rewarding and shows that our process is working, and it's showing that, you know, it's getting guys to buy in more, you know, to keep progressing. And the best part is that, you know, we haven't played a clean game yet, you know, so to not play our cleanest ball and keep getting these big time wins is great. And you know, it shows guys that once we finally do put together a clean 60 minutes, you know, the sky's the limit for what this team can do.
Yeah, Cohen said that it's a 4-1 team, but it's probably a pissed off 4-1 team. Just a lot of meat was left on the bone. Final question for you. All right, underdog mentality on this team.
Yep.
Now all of a sudden, people are talking about the Jaguars. The national love is coming in. Will that affect anything in this locker room?
It won't for me, and I hope it doesn't. I know it won't. You know, we're focused on ourselves and the process that's gotten us here. You know, the hype's great, but it hasn't. It's not what's gotten us to this point. You know, what's gotten us to this point is people in this building, the guys in this room. You know, coming in every day and busting our ass to get better. And you know, it was a great win Monday night, but it just shows like we have room to improve, and that's what we're going to attack. So the noise is the noise, and it's going to be there, but I have faith that the guys in this locker room are going to be able to, you know, tune that out and keep our process rolling.
Hunter, best of luck Sunday. We'll be watching.
Perfect. Appreciate it.
There you go. Hunter Long inside the Jaguar locker room. Appreciate him joining me earlier here on 1010XL. And, you know, look, I'm as guilty of this as anybody. When they signed Hunter Long and Johnny Munt, I like to think that I know a little something about the NFL. Some people might disagree with that are listening right now, but I love you anyway. But I'd like to think I know a little something. Denmark, I remember when they signed those guys, me and you looked at each other like, huh? I mean, I knew the name Hunter Long because I think I remembered him from Boston College more than I actually remembered him from what he did with the Rams. But the story there was, well, he was the one guy that Gladstone brought with him from L.A. Johnny Munt, I truthfully didn't know. My buddy's a diehard Viking fan, my buddy Drew, and I texted him immediately, all right, give me the 411 on Johnny Munt, and he's like, all right, he's a great blocking tight end, and I just didn't know a lot about these guys. Quentin Morris, the same thing. Look, I will tell you this. They're going to miss Brenton Strange, right? There's no bones about that. Strange was having a great start to the year. He's a great run blocker. He was getting involved in the passing game. He was probably the most reliable pass catcher. They're going to miss Brenton Strange. And maybe it's fool's gold on my part, but the way that I think Liam Cohen and this coaching staff, Udinski and all these guys prepare, what I've seen from Hunter Long, Johnny Munt, and at least the preseason version of Quentin Morris, Denmark, I think Brenton Strange is certainly a loss, but I don't think it's a football catastrophe. I think they will be able to navigate the waters without Brenton Strange, and I think they will be able to keep their head above water.
Yeah, I don't know. I think they'll keep their head above water. I mean, out 4 weeks. He's on the IR. They have a bye week as well, which helps. I mean, he's that security blanket where it's a third and medium or that red zone that Trevor Lawrence, like, he knows he can go to him. Like, everybody's had drops, it seems like, on this team. He's been the one guy that has not had drops. I think they'll be fine. But Hunter Long and Johnny Munt are definitely going to step their game in the next couple weeks.
There's no doubt. They absolutely do. But I like Hunter Long. I like Johnny Munt. And again, it's going to affect some of the things they do in the offense, no doubt. If you keep De'Ami Brown and obviously BTJ and Travis Hunter, Parker Washington healthy, I'm not concerned about the passing game. My bigger concern, honestly, with Strange is he's such a good run blocker as a tight end. How will that affect the running game? But I do like the physicality of Hunter Long. I like the physicality of Quentin Morris, and we'll see. But again, Hunter Long is going to have an advanced role, no question. Another guy that will have an advanced role more than likely, I shouldn't even say that, potentially. We don't know Robert Hainsey's status for Sunday yet. We know he did not practice today and that he left the game Monday night in the fourth quarter. But Jonah Monheim, the 7th-round rookie from Southern Cal, came in, I thought did a terrific job being thrust into that situation on Monday Night Football against the Kansas City Chiefs. And if the 7th-round rookie has to start this week at center, I like Jonah Monheim. I thought he was one of the stars of the preseason. I thought he held his own very well last week in the fourth quarter. Earlier today, I also had the opportunity to catch up with Jonah Monheim down in the Jaguar locker room.
Inside the Jaguar locker room, Jaguars getting ready for the Seattle Seahawks on Sunday. We got Jonah Monheim with us here on 1010XL. Jonah, how'd practice go out there today?
It was good. Good to get back out on the field. Obviously, got to see some of the corrections from the game, but at the same time, got to flush it and move on to Seattle. They're a great football team, so had to have a good day of prep out there.
Coming in the fourth quarter of Monday Night Football as a 7th-round rookie and playing the way you played, how happy were you with your performance?
Yeah, I mean, regardless of my performance, I was happy we got the win. It was a great team win. All three sides. It took a lot to get that win. And it was a great thing to be a part of. In terms of me, it was just kind of trying to do my job, one play at a time. A great group of guys around me to help, so it was fun to be a part of.
A win like that, in that atmosphere, in front of that crowd, what can that do for this team moving forward?
Yeah, it was a really cool night, really good win. Great atmosphere, like you said. At the same time, as great of a win as that was, we've got to move on and prepare for Seattle, take it one day at a time. Because we got another great opportunity this week against a great opponent.
Obviously, your first year here in Jacksonville, but with that being said, you sense the excitement. You saw that fan base out there on Sunday. You're back at home again in Everbank Stadium. Do you guys understand how excited the fans are outside this locker room?
I think so. I think, you felt their passion on Monday night, and, you can certainly sense that a little bit. We know it's our job to put the best product out there on the field and try to make them proud.
There certainly is, I would say, an underdog mentality in this locker room. Not so much anymore nationally. Now people are talking about the Jaguars. You're getting a lot more love, a lot more excitement about this team. Is there an issue with complacency, or is that not going to be an issue with this team?
Yeah, I mean, it's tough to say because it's outside noise. I think we try to not pay attention too much to outside noise, whether it's good or bad, because at the end of the day, we've got to be concerned with what's within these walls and just getting better one day at a time as a team.
We don't know Robert's status for Sunday yet, but if it is you that gets the call, what would your thoughts be, your first career start in the NFL?
Yeah, again, similar to my thoughts were on Monday night, just whatever it takes to do my job, each and every play for that unit, obviously for the O-line, for Trevor, for the offense as a whole. Have a great week of prep and see what happens.
As we wrap up, the Seattle Seahawks, it's early in the week, but what have you seen from them on film so far?
Yeah, I mean, obviously they're a really well-rounded team, really stout on defense, great all-around front and structure within their defense, and then obviously their offense is playing well. So really balanced team, really good team all around, great opportunity, great opponent.
Final question, last home game in 35 days. What's your message to the fan base coming out on Sunday?
Yeah, I'd say, we appreciate you guys on Monday, and excited to see you guys back there on Sunday.
Jonah, best of luck. We'll be watching.
Thank you, sir.
There you go, Jonah Monheim with us here on Hacker After Dark. And again, just speaks to the 2 7th-round picks. Monheim and LaQuint Allen Jr., the running back from Syracuse, both playing in that final go-ahead drive on Monday Night Football against the defending AFC champions, and both guys having an impact on that drive. Kudos to James Gladstone and the job he did in the scouting department down there for finding guys like that in round 7 that can come in and contribute in the fashion that both Monheim and LaQuint Allen Jr. did. So thank you to both Hunter Long and Jonah Monheim. More from the Jaguar locker room coming up tomorrow night on a Thursday night edition of Hacker After Dark. The Jaguar-Seahawks game, Sunday, 1 o'clock. Of course, you'll hear it right here on 1010XL 2 hours after that game goes final. Myself, the coach Gerald Ingram, and the Pro Bowler Leon Searcy will have the 5th quarter for you live from Hurricane Grill and Wings in San Marco. Let's catch up with Leon Searcy. Let's get his thoughts on the 4-1 Jacksonville Jaguars. By the way, I mentioned this earlier. First time since 2007, the Jaguars have started 4-1 on the year, and only the 5th time in the 31-year history of the franchise they're 4-1 or better to start a season. You got 2007, and then before that, you got to go back to 1999, 98, 97. So for only the 2nd time in the last 26 seasons, the Jaguars are 4-1 or better in their first 5 regular season games. It doesn't happen very often, Jacksonville. I hope you're enjoying what the Jaguars are doing for you. Leon Searcy, who was part of 3 of those teams that started 4-1 or better in 97, 98, and 99, he joins me next right here on Hacker After Dark.
When you need plumbing, septic, or air conditioning service, trust matters. That's why more homeowners in Jacksonville choose Duck Duck Rooter, the area's most trusted service company. We're licensed, insured, and the only master septic contractor in Northeast Florida. From small plumbing repairs to major renovations, septic tank pump outs, drain field installations, and full air conditioning service, we do it all. Call 904-862-6769 or visit duckduckrooter.com. Duck Duck Rooter. When you're stuck, call the duck.
Julington Creek Pest Control has been serving our community since 1984. Our turf management program is an all-out blitz, granular fertilization, weed and insect control, keeping your lawn championship green all year. Quarterly pest control stops bugs before they ever cross your goal line. Family owned, locally operated, expert technicians, top quality products, no gimmicks, just winning results. Julington Creek Pest Control, our family serving yours since 1984.
Looking for an engagement ring in Jacksonville? Here's a pop quiz. Which Jacksonville jeweler cuts out the middleman and guarantees the lowest price on any diamond? I'm thinking it's... No, it's Beard's Diamonds. Question 2. Which jeweler in the town center has thousands of designer engagement rings and a multi-million-dollar diamond inventory? I'm gonna say... No, it's Beard's Diamonds. Question 3. Which jeweler in Jacksonville offers an unbiased diamond education, a lifetime upgrade, and free maintenance for life? How about Dude, you should have learned by now it's Beard's Diamonds. Final question. Which jewelry store in Jacksonville hasn't been sold a few times and is currently not owned by a national conglomerate? Beard's Diamonds? Ding, ding, ding. Now you're getting it. Beards Diamonds guarantees a better selection, an unbeatable price, superior warranties with no corporate rule books, no commission salespeople, and no chain store atmosphere. Beards Diamonds, Jacksonville's jeweler, St. John's Town Center.
I'm here with Danny Van Sickle, director of the Electrical Training Alliance. Danny, tell me about your program.
Hey, Rick. We're a 4-year electrical apprenticeship. Our students start out making over $40,000 a year, and right now make over $90,000 a year, including benefits. There is no tuition or student debt. You just have to apply and get accepted.
Did you say no tuition and no student debt?
You heard that right, Rick. Once you're accepted to the program, your only cost are the books and the course fees. About $800 a year.
That sounds like an amazing opportunity. How can I learn more?
Just go to etajax.org and you can apply there.
Apply by November 6th.
Jacksonville, archery season is here, and nobody does archery like Green Acres Sporting Goods, home of the largest archery pro shop in Northeast Florida. Come test shoot the newest bows from Matthews, Hoyt, Raven, and all the top brands. And starting this month, take advantage of Florida's sales tax holiday on all Second Amendment related items, running now through the end of the year. You can find it all at greenacresporting.com.
Hey Jacksonville, it's Dr. Kevin Kaplan, team physician for the Jaguars and proud member of Jacksonville's newest orthopedic dream team. At Orthopedic Specialists of Jacksonville, we brought together 10 board-certified fellowship-trained surgeons, each one a specialist in their field, all working together to deliver smarter, faster care with better results. From sports injuries to joint replacements, we've got the right player for every position. Visit osjax.com and meet your team. That's osjax.com.
Jax is more than a city, beaches, suburbs, or a destination. We're a community that takes care of each other. I'm former Jaguar Tom McManus. J-Dog Junk Removal and Hauling is dedicated to serving you with respect and integrity. From estate cleanouts to furniture and appliance removal, we handle it all. Call 506-1256 for your free estimate today. We're here for you. We're veteran-owned and operated. J-Dog Junk Removal and Hauling.
1010XL, presented by Farah and Farah, exclusive injury law firm of the Jacksonville Jaguars. When it's game time, Farah doesn't flinch. Now, another great guest on the Checkmate Coatings phone line. Hello. Your floor's missing piece.
Back here on 1010XL at 92.5 FM in the city of Jacksonville. We are glad you are with us. The Jaguars and the Seahawks, Sunday, 1 o'clock. Of course, you'll hear the game right here on 1010XL 2 hours after the Jaguars and the Seahawks go final. Myself, the coach Gerald Ingram, and the Pro Bowler Leon Searcy will have the fifth quarter for you. And speaking of the Pro Bowler, let's talk with Leon Searcy, former Pro Bowl offensive tackle for the Jacksonville Jaguars. Leon, how are you, bud?
What up, bro?
Boy, what a win against Kansas City. We've had a couple of days to bask in the glory of everything that transpired. Leon, from a mile-high view, what did you take out of that victory on Monday night?
Bro, I mean, listen, this city, this fan base, this team, this organization needed that win. You talk about extinguishing narratives. That's what we've been doing all season long, starting with the Texans. Couldn't beat them in 7 tries. Couldn't beat them at home. We beat them. Talk about the 49ers going on the West Coast. Couldn't win a game on the West Coast against the 49ers. You get that done. Talk about the Kansas City Chiefs that have beat us 7 straight. And the fact that this team has not performed well in prime time as another check mark. I mean, this team is answering the bell, is beating brands. That's the key. That's the key, the fact that this team is beating brands. Kansas City is a brand. 49ers are a brand. So that's back-to-back. You're talking about teams that represented their conferences 2 years ago. Both teams represented their conferences about 2 years ago in the Super Bowl. So that's big time. I mean, that's big time for your psyche as a team, knowing that you can compete with the very best and get it done.
Leon, you played over a decade in the National Football League. You're the perfect person to ask. Have you ever seen a turnaround that Devin Lloyd has made in his career from what he was the first 3 or 4 years to what he has become in 2025?
I really haven't. Usually guys that I've seen that I play with, you know, they come in with the goods and they usually end with the goods. But some guys just take longer to kind of find themselves. And I think Devin Lloyd is betting on himself. And And that's good. He's taking responsibility for his ups and his downs, but right now he's riding high. He's absolutely riding high. I mean, he's got to be the forerunner, the front runner for Defensive Player of the Year. You're talking about a guy that's got 4 interceptions in 5 games. I don't know the rest of his stats, but I'm sure they've got to be amazing. But the guy, he's the catalyst for this defense. He's the representation of what this defense is all about, getting after your behind, causing turnovers, interceptions, fumbles, sacks, all that kind of stuff. So, yeah, I'm happy for him. If I'm the Jacksonville Jaguars right now, you got to call his agent. I mean, he is riding high right now. Not sure if you can get a deal done, but before it's all said and done, I think that he's going to remain a Jaguar.
Former Pro Bowl offensive tackle for the Jaguars, Leon Searcy. You hear him every day on Prime Time. We get him weekly here on Hacker After Dark. Yeah, Devin Lloyd for a linebacker. It was the longest regular season interception return for touchdown in NFL history, 99 yards, tying James Harrison. Of course, James Harrison did his in the Super Bowl, so a little more memorable, but nevertheless, Devin Lloyd, the longest regular season INT for touchdown from a linebacker in NFL history. Leon, we got the full Trevor Lawrence experience as well on Monday night. There was some good, there was some bad, there was some head scratching. But at the end of the day, you want to talk about the will to win and making a play. That's exactly what Trevor did there in the final seconds.
Well, you know what? He started slow. He absolutely started slow. He got down early, 14-0. But he just kept on fighting. And that's all you can ask from your quarterback is that, listen, as a player, you know when you're not playing your ultimate best in the game. And all you can do is just recover from it, shake it off, and just keep fighting. Just it's a want and a will, and that's what Trevor did. We saw a slow start. We saw some passes that were questionable, but I also saw some throws that it probably only 1, 2, or 3 quarterbacks in the NFL could make, especially down the stretch. And that's what you ask for your quarterback, to make the necessary throws, the tough throws when we need you the most. And then at the goal line, I've never seen a person fall twice like Trevor did in that game. But he got up and he scored. So, yeah. And then when he slammed the ball, it was almost like a relief. It's almost like, it was almost like he was saying to himself, man, I didn't play my very best, but I just kept fighting. I was not going to let us lose this game. That's the impression that I got from Trevor. I don't know if he was thinking that or not. But that's the impression I got from Trevor, that it was just relief that I was not going to lose this game at all costs. So, yeah, man, that's what's scary about the record right now, Hack, to be quite honest with you. This team is 4-1, and there's a lot of key components on the offensive side of the ball that have not played their very best. When they get it rolling, I think the Jaguars can be scary.
I agree. That is very, very, that is good thought, too. I mean, 4-1, like you said, and the offense hasn't looked very good at all at times. Although I do think Brian Thomas Jr. and Travis Hunter probably combined had their best game, 7 grabs for 140 yards between those two, and hopefully that's the start of something moving forward. Leon, let's go to your bread and butter quickly, the offensive line. What does it say about a kid in Jonah Monheim, a 7th-round rookie, that is thrust into being the starting center because of the injury to Robert Hainsey in the 4th quarter of Monday Night Football against Chris Jones and the Kansas City Chiefs? And by all indications, Monheim played terrifically.
He did, absolutely. But that's what you're supposed to do. You're supposed to answer the bell when your number is called, and he did an outstanding job. I mean, that's not an easy task, but you got to remember the center sets the table for everybody else to eat, with the calls, with the recognition of defenses, slides, slants, coverage, twists, blitz, all that kind of stuff is factored in as far as what the center has to do. But, I mean, I have to give my hats off to the offensive lineman as a whole as well, Hack, because going down 14-0, you can tell if your team's got any giddy up by how your offensive line plays, because I've been in those huddles. I've been on those sidelines. I've had those conversations when you get down and you have to make up your mind that you're going to keep fighting the good fight. You're going to win the individual battles. You're not going to allow any more leakage. So yeah, it was kind of chilling to me watching the game when they went 14-0, and I wanted to see what kind of resilience this team was going to have, especially up front with the offensive line, because Jaguar teams of old, you'll know that they're going to give up based upon their offensive line's lack of protection, but this team didn't do that. This offensive line fought to the very end. It made me very proud to be a Jaguar, see them stick it in at the last seconds in the game, because it had a lot to do with it. Everybody talks about Trevor's fall. Trevor doesn't get up if that offensive line doesn't block for him.
Mm-hmm.
He doesn't get up.
I mean, Walker Little and Ezra Cleveland destroyed that Chiefs defensive end, and that's why Trevor Lawrence was able to scramble out there to the left and find the end zone. Final moments with Leon Searcy. All right, Leon, let's look ahead. Life without Brenton Strange begins. He's going to be out at least 4 games, placed on IR. Look, that's a loss. There's no doubt about that. Next man up mentality, and I like what I've seen out of Hunter Long. I like what I've seen out of Johnny Munt, and then Quentin Morris is a guy that's been a special teams demon so far this year. And truthfully, I mean, it's a guy that's been in the league for a couple of years, spent 4 years, I believe, in Buffalo, and I thought he had glimpses in the preseason, so they're certainly going to have to step up in Brenton Strange's absence, but it's a heck of an opportunity for Hunter Long, Johnny Munt, and Quentin Morris.
Well, you got to remember the NFL, it's a long season. And quite frankly, injuries are going to happen. Adversity, you're going to face it. It's just how you address it. And, yeah, it's going to give other guys opportunity. I mean, it's going to be a big loss, absolutely. Brenton Strange, not only his catching ability, but his blocking ability. He sets the tones a lot of times in games from some of those smash blocks that he does when we're running the gap run game. So, yeah, it's going to be a lot of guys that are going to have to answer the bell. But yeah, man, listen, we can't stop this train. We got momentum. We absolutely have momentum right now. So we got guys that got to step up and get on board and keep this thing moving.
Leon, it's an interesting dynamic. It's a short week for the Jaguars, an emotional win on Monday night. They got to quickly turn around and begin focusing on Seattle. The game is at Sunday at 1 o'clock. From the Seattle point of view, they have to travel 3,000 miles here. I believe they're actually coming in on Friday. That's normally what the Seahawks do when they come to the East Coast. What is your early thought on Seattle and Jacksonville?
Well, I mean, Seattle has, they have the extra day of rest. We had to play Monday night. So the key is recovery, Hack, because it was such a physical battle to the very end, not only physically but emotionally. His team went through a lot, the ups and downs, going down 14, the highs and lows, the back and forth, the exchange of taking the lead, losing the lead, all that kind of stuff, taking the lead again. So it's going to be important that this team gets rest, believe it or not. You got to get rest, you got to get recovery. All the little nicks and bruises that you may have, you got to get treatment on them. You got to be mentally. It's a quick turnaround. I've been in those situations where I played in Monday night that had to turn right around and had to play a Sunday game. So it's not easy, but you got to get it done. Seattle's in the way. They're absolutely in the way. They're coming into our house. First thing you do is you defend your house. They got a formidable team, especially defensively. I think they've got a top 5 defense in the NFL, so it's going to be a physical battle again. So this offensive line is going to have to, lace up the boots, put on the big boy pants, and go fight again. So it's like, it's like it's like your cut man when you're boxing. The treatment and recovery is like the cut man. Going to wipe the blood, the sweat off you, give you some water, and push you back out there. That's the NFL. That's the NFL in a nutshell right there.
Leon, final question. I think it begins with this Sunday against Seattle. Liam Cohen has always talked about how he wants to see if this team responds to adversity. I think we know that answer. They've responded unbelievably well to adversity. Now I want to see how they handle success. They're getting a lot of national love. They're in the top 10 of almost every power ranking out there. National interviews are coming their way. People are talking about Devin Lloyd as maybe Defensive Player of the Year. Any concern for you that maybe they start reading their press clippings, or do you think they're going to stay centered?
Well, it's natural for you to, be inspired by people saying good things about you. The ego's always in play. the NFL itself is an egotistical game. You know, you've got to think and believe that you're better than the person across from you each and every game and show it. So it's going. I'm not worried about them being a little into themselves, sort of say. I just think that's a natural reaction for NFL players because they're in the limelight. But you have to understand what it got you to this point and appreciate it and continue to work on it. So, I mean, the narrative, if the Jaguars win, they're going to say, hey, the Jaguars are locked in. If they unfortunately lose, they're going to say, oh, they got hyped or whatever. So you can't win either way. I just say this to the Jaguars. Remember, the wagon was empty when the season started. And we don't need no new friends. Whoever was on this train at the beginning, they stay on the train. Everybody that hasn't been, you keep their ass off.
You hear Leon Searcy every day on Prime Time. We get him weekly here on Hacker After Dark. And Sunday, you will hear Leon along with the coach, Gerald Ingram, and myself 2 hours after the Jaguars and the Seahawks go final. We'll have the fifth quarter for you on 1010XL and 92.5 FM, live from Hurricane Grill and Wings in San Marco. Leon, I know it's early in the week. Do you have a vibe on Sunday? What are you thinking?
I'm thinking Jaguars 24, Seattle 20.
Man, I would certainly take it. The Jaguars would get to 5-1. By the way, this is only the second time since you were a Jaguar that they've started 4-1 or better. You got to go back to 2007 as the last time, and then prior to that, it was you guys in 97, 98, and 99. Fifth time in 31 years the Jaguars have started 4-1 or better to begin a season. Leon, I know you're busy. Thank you for the time, pal. I'll see you Sunday for the fifth quarter.
You got it, bro.
Florida Gators football. Gators! The Gators bring swamp style to the Lone Star State.
Falls loose at the 38. Gators got it.
Florida, Texas A&M, Saturday at 7 on Jacksonville's home of Florida Gators football. 1010 XL.
It's the fall savings event going on now at Renewal by Andersen. Upgrading your home has never been easier. Get 20% off replacement windows and patio doors. Plus, no money down, no payments, and no interest for 12 months. This offer expires October 31st. Renewal by Andersen, proud partner of the Jacksonville Jaguars. Visit bestwindowsflorida.com to schedule your free consultation.
License number CGC 1527613.
Jags fans, this one's for you. If you've got MyGate Rewards, you're already in the game. But now you've got a shot at the ultimate prize, meeting QB1 himself, Trevor Lawrence, at Everbank Stadium with 3 friends by your side. With the MyGate Rewards Gatorade Club, every 5 Gatorade items you purchase equals 1 entry toward your chance to win. Stack them up and score big. See store for details. Gear up for the season. Gates got you.
Dr. Kevin Murphy with Southeast Orthopedic Specialist, congratulating our Scholar Athlete of the Week.
Eli Little, senior varsity swimmer at Stanton College Prep. Eli is a member of the National Honor Society, the Spanish Honor Society, and the Science Honor Society, and he's president of the Fellowship of Christian Athletes.
Get in the zone, AutoZone.
Annie's first oil change wasn't as hard as she thought because she went to AutoZone, where a friendly AutoZoner helped her find the right oil and save on an oil filter. He explained the job and showed her free how-tos on AutoZone.com. When she was done, AutoZone recycled her old oil for free. No hassles, just help. Everything you need, nothing you don't.
Get in the zone, AutoZone.
Restrictions apply.
If you've been in a big truck accident, you need a lawyer that specializes in big trucks. A lawyer who knows all the federal traffic rules that can affect your case.
And who can navigate the complex web of laws dealing with the trucking company, the leasing company, the shipper, and all the other details that can complicate your case.
At Farah & Farah, we've seen it all, and we're ready to go the long haul to fight for you. Jacksonville.
Grab your cowboy hat for the Beach Barbecue Bash, presented by Sunshine State Plumbing and Reliable Ducks. Thursday, October 30th. Live music, sizzling barbecue, and Southern Charm, supporting Boys and Girls Clubs of Northeast Florida. Get tickets at bgcnf.org.
Here's your 1010XL community calendar of local events and nonprofit groups helping people here at home.
It's an evening of connection, laughter, and friendly competition, celebrating the creativity and resilience of our community with costumes, bowling, and prizes. To find out more about the Community Bowling Costume Party October 24th, contact Rebel Recovery.
If you'd like to help dogs find new homes, you can enjoy food, drinks, music, and of course, dogs at the Fall Fermi Festival, November 8th. Find out more at kprok9.com.
Find out how you can be part of the cure for blood cancer at the Light the Night Walk at ViStar Ballpark November 22nd. Take the first step at lightthenight.org.
The Hometown for Heroes Home Buyers Program helps you get your down payment and closing costs paid. Call to learn more. 574-7180.
You can find out how to share your community event at 1010XL.com.
Tired of roofers who never answer the phone and just use AI?
I'm Morgan Conley, the People's Roofer. I answer every call. No robots, no runaround. I'm born here, built here, staying here. Visit MorganConleyRoofing.org.
1010XL, presented by Farah and Farah, exclusive injury law firm of the Jacksonville Jaguars. Focused, fueled, fearless, Farah. Hacker After Dark on 1010XL.
On the doorstep of the 9 o'clock hour, glad you're with us. We'll take you up till 10 o'clock as we do every night. Hacker After Dark, 1010XL, 92.5 FM. Denmark, I know you're not in a relationship necessarily, but I still need some guidance. And since you are the guy that I talk to every night here on Hacker After Dark, you're going to be the guy that hopefully can give me some guidance here. So, little Hack is going out of town with his grandparents this weekend, which means mommy and daddy have the weekend off, right? So, mommy approaches me earlier tonight saying, hey, why don't we go out to the beach Saturday night, go to dinner, grab some drinks, what have you? Yeah, that sounds great. Immediately, I think about the Florida Gator football schedule and realize the Gators are a 7 o'clock kick against Texas A&M on Saturday evening. A game, of course, you will hear right here on 1010XL, and you can watch on ESPN. So do I go out with the wife, knowing that we don't have parental responsibilities, knowing I'm probably going to miss watching the Gator game live? Or is there a way that I could go out with the wife and maybe slip in a few views on the phone, radio, etc., to find out what's going on in College Station? Or do I say, honey, I can't, I'm working, I got to find out what the Gators are doing, we got to stay home?
Try to go to a spot where you can get a TV to watch the game.
Yeah, but I mean, we've been together for 12 years.
Yeah, I'm sure she hasn't.
She's going to know that.
She knows that.
Yeah, that's my issue.
The answer to the question is, how pissed will she be if you do what you want? And if it's not worth it, then you do what she says.
Yeah, it's a tough call. It's a tough call because, truthfully, there was a time in my life before I became the oldest 41-year-old on the planet. People that have listened to me long enough will know that I used to run and rip out in Jacksonville Beach, man, kind of like how you do these days. I mean, I was on a first-name basis with a lot of people out there in the Jacksonville Beach area. And then I got old and decided that I liked doing evening radio and watching the news and going to bed at 10 o'clock. So it would be nice to have a turn back the clock Saturday, knowing my son is out of town with the grandparents. And that would be great in the months of February, March, April, May, June, or July. Unfortunately, she wants to do this on a Saturday night in October when Florida, just coming off a huge win over Texas, plays Texas A&M in what could be a turnaround game for Billy Napier's season. And I just have the worry that, knowing me, instead of enjoying said cocktails and dinner, etc., I'm going to be worried if DJ Lagway is hooked up with Dallas Wilson for some touchdown passes, or how the Gators are doing defending Marcel Reed in that Aggie running attack. So I don't know what exactly I'm going to do. I got, I guess, a little less than 72 hours to think it over. But these are tough decisions. These are tough decisions if you're in the boyfriend-girlfriend stage. These are tough decisions if you've been married a decade plus like I have. I imagine my brother that's been married 25 plus years. These would be tough decisions for you. So I got to think it through. I'm going to talk myself through it. Hit me up on the text line, designed by Lifetime Enclosures, 641-1010, 904-641-1010. What would you do if you were in my situation? You heard me lay out all the details. Get me through it. Give me some very, very much needed advice. 1 hour down, 1 hour to go. Jacksonville, we'll take you up till 10 o'clock. Got a very busy 9 o'clock hour. The coach, Gerald Ingram, joins me to talk about the Jaguar 4-1 start. We will head to Tallahassee as well, check in with Kurt Weiler of Tomahawk Nation, and talk about what will be a crossroads game for Florida State. Losers of 2 in a row. Are they really going to lose 3 ACC games in a row? They play Pitt at high noon on Saturday. We'll talk about all of it in the 9 o'clock hour as we roll on till 10 right here. It's Hacker After Dark.
It's the one they put in high gear.
Keep going. We got to keep going, keep going, keep going.
It's the Randy Marion Cadillac of Jacksonville drive of the game. Drive to the game in luxury with Randy Marion Cadillac of Jacksonville on 1010XL.
Attention skilled electricians. Are you undervalued at your current company? Time to step up to the bigger projects and better opportunities. Join the team at Miller Electric Company, a trusted name in the industry for over 96 years. At Miller, we tackle the biggest projects in the city, offering not just the job, but an experienced, top-notch pay, unbeatable benefits, and the best working environments in the business. Please join the team that values your skills and rewards your hard work. Elevate your career to new heights. Apply today at millercareers.com, an equal opportunity employer.
WJXL AM Jacksonville Beach. WJXL FM Jacksonville Beach.
Bueller.
Stay cooler with Bueller.
Hey, pal, you look troubled. Is something bugging you?
This friendship isn't all upside for me, Jason. People keep asking me stuff about you.
They ask you about me?
Is it really cooler with Bueller, they ask. So I say, totally. And they say, how do you mean that? And I say, he fixes air conditioners, which literally makes somebody cool. But he also has cool sunglasses and cool people and a cool family.
And I try to make working at Bueller Air and Plumbing a really cool experience for our technicians and plumbers. We treat our people like gold, and they treat our homeowners the exact same way.
Great. Well, now there's another cool thing I've got to remember. This is a lot of responsibility, Jason.
Life can get hectic sometimes. If you don't take a moment to slow down and appreciate all the cool parts, you could miss it.
Do people ask you about me at all?
Weirdly, they do.
Stay cooler with Bueller.
Visit BuellerAir.com.
Tired of wrestling with your shower curtain like it's a fight for the last slice of pizza? Ditch the drama and say hello to a smooth, stylish glass shower enclosure from Baker Glass. Wago Glass is clean, elegant, and makes your bathroom look huge and brighter. Give your shower a makeover and feel like you're in a spa without the price tag. I'm Mac at Baker Glass. Call me and get ready to love your new shower. Let's make your shower great again. Remember, Baker Glass, no one treats you better.
Hey Googans, Hicken here, and I just want to once again give you this very simple reminder. Wear sunscreen. If you're outside a lot, bring the screen. Put some in your truck, on your boat, in your golf bag, whatever, wherever, just use it. Please. It's hot out there, and I just want you to protect yourself. I use it like it's cool because I think it is, but what's not cool, that's skin cancer. You don't want to deal with that. Go get yourself checked out. It could save your life. Go to beachesdermatology.com and schedule your appointment today. That's beachesdermatology.com.
Did you know that for every inch of rain on a 2,000 square foot roof, 1,500 gallons come off the eaves of the roof? Call Clearwater Seamless Gutters and Drainage, and we'll design a plan using our Clearwater Seamless Gutters, and we'll connect those gutters to a Clearwater drainage system to solve your erosion and standing water issues.
Clearwater Seamless Gutters. We can't sing a lick, but we sure are good at gutters. And drainage too.
SeamlessGuttersJacksonville.com. 1010XL, presented by Farah & Farah, exclusive injury law firm of the Jacksonville Jaguars. Still, present, ready. Farah doesn't flinch. This is Hacker After Dark on 1010XL.
9 o'clock hour has arrived. We'll take you up till 10 o'clock. Hacker After Dark, 1010XL and 92.5 FM. The coach, Gerald Ingram. You hear him every Sunday on the fifth quarter, alongside Leon Searcy and myself. 18 years running back coaching experience in the National Football League. He has 2 Super Bowl rings on his fingers. We'll talk with Gerald Ingram about the Jaguars' 4-1 start and take a brief look ahead to the Seattle Seahawks coming in here on Sunday. Also later on in the 9 o'clock hour, Kurt Weiler of Tomahawk Nation talking Florida State's 2-game losing streak and previewing the Pitt Panthers, who come into Doak Campbell on a Saturday night. You know, Denmark, I was thinking about this earlier. Billy Napier coming off a big win. Mike Norvell coming off back-to-back losses. Both fan bases aren't very happy right now. Florida fan base has been unhappy for a long time. The Florida State fan base has as well. There was a 3-week period where they thought they were back, and now they're back to what their reality is, which they've lost 2 in a row, and ultimately they've lost 12 of their last 17 football games. Who has more confidence in their head coach right now? Do Florida Gator fans have more confidence in Billy Napier? Or do Florida State fans have more confidence in Mike Norvell? I guess, Denmark, I would argue that obviously if you had to choose one, it's probably a week-to-week thing. I never thought I would say this 2 weeks ago. But do you have more confidence in Billy Napier based on the Texas performance than what Mike Norvell has put on the field 2 weeks in a row in Tallahassee?
I would not. I would just go off of Norvell had an undefeated season a couple of years ago. I mean, the question is on a scale of 1 to 10, how confident are you? With Napier, I'm like a 0.8, and Mike Norvell, I'm a 1.0.
Yeah, the thing with Norvell, he did have an undefeated season. That was 17 games ago.
It was.
And they've lost 12 of their last. If you want to get technical, if you want to count the bowl game, which was their junior varsity team, they've lost, 13 out of 18. I'm not really going to count that. So they've lost 12 out of 17. When does that undefeated talk go away, and when does he take accountability?
It's gone now.
Yeah, I agree.
It's not. I mean, you've won one ACC game in your last 10, and what's funny is those wins you brought up have been against the SEC teams in Alabama and LSU, 2 of them.
Yeah, which is wild.
Which is hysterical. I mean, maybe they need to get out of the ACC and join the SEC. Yeah, both are bad, and I just hate it because being a high school coach, like, it's never going to get back to what it was, 20, 25 years ago, where those schools are competing for the same kids. I mean, heck, how many of these kids that come out of the area stay in state and go to, take pride in, going to Florida over Florida State or going to Florida over Miami? You're not going to have that anymore.
Oh, in the land of NIL and the portal and everything.
It's not going to be that way. But kids aren't taking pride in, once upon a time being a Gator fan and then, going to Florida over Florida State or whatever the case may be. It's not that way anymore.
And I miss those days.
Yeah.
I miss the recruiting battles. I miss guys staying at school for 4 years. I don't particularly like the fact that there are 40 or 50 new players every year on all these different college football rosters. Having said all that, quickly to Florida. Again, we're going to get back into the NFL in just a moment. Gerald Ingram joins me in less than 10 minutes. If Florida beats Texas A&M on Saturday night, I don't think they will because they've only won 4 road games in Billy Napier's time in Gainesville. They don't win on the road. But stay with me here. If they prove me wrong, and if they do win, and that's back-to-back wins over Texas and Texas A&M, at that point, Billy gets the rest of the season, right? I know Brett McMurphy, I believe it was Brett McMurphy, or somebody came out with a report. I shouldn't say that. I don't know who it was. I want to say it was McMurphy, but I'm not positive. There were reports coming out that there needs to be a, quote, miracle finish or something along those lines. I'm paraphrasing there for Billy to keep his job. That the Texas win maybe didn't do all that much in the grand scheme of things to help him. But if they beat A&M, and then all of a sudden you beat Texas and Texas A&M in a 7-day period, well, at that point, he gets at least the rest of the season, right? I mean, he won't get fired before the season if they win in College Station.
Yeah, I mean, he's going to stay regardless. I mean, Matt Hayes said even after they started 1-3, he was going to stay the rest of the year. And I think that's going to happen. I mean, people want to give him credit, if he does beat A&M or if he, splits A&M or Mississippi State and goes 1-1 of these next 2 weeks, and you're 3-4 going into the Georgia game. I mean, it still doesn't discredit what happened between USF and, the first couple weeks of the season. You can't discount that.
Quickly, it was Brett McMurphy. He tweeted this out earlier today. Florida is off its most impressive performance of the season in a win versus Texas, but Billy Napier still needs a, quote, magical run, a miracle finish to return in 2026, sources told On3 Sports. So take that for what it's worth, but I think McMurphy is certainly a guy in the know, and that's apparently where things stand now with Billy Napier and the University of Florida. Can he take one step closer? Well, the Texas A&M game is 7 o'clock Saturday night in College Station, and, of course, you will hear it right here on 1010XL. Back into the Jacksonville Jaguars, their first 4-1 start since 2007. Let's talk to the coach, Gerald Ingram, about the 4-1 Jaguars, about the win over Kansas City, and let's look ahead to Seattle coming in on Sunday. Gerald Ingram joins me next, right here. It's Hacker After Dark.
Make Monday an extension of the weekend by talking football all day.
Oh, you're good.
We'll take apart the top games, key plays, and controversial calls from the weekend. Post-game Monday, served by Dandy Foods on 1010XL.
Awaken 180 weight loss. Awaken 180 weight loss. Hacker here for the best weight loss program that I've ever been on. And I always tell you guys about the great coaching, the great guidance you get. I met with my coach once a week when I was on the program. I'm now on the maintenance side of things. I still meet with my coach once every couple of weeks. Check this out from Awaken 180. For the month of October, you can get a free consultation if you call them up. Free consultation in the month of October so you can potentially begin your weight loss journey. Guys, I lost over 100 pounds on Awaken 180 weight loss. It was time for me to drop the weight. My life is so much better because I did. I cannot possibly tell you how terrific the Awaken 180 program is. If you want to find out more about it, if you call them up, you'll get a free consultation here in the month of October. Call 844-346-1800 or go to awaken180weightloss.com.
I'm with Greg from Cycles of Jacksonville, and this time of the year, Honda has such a great lineup, especially when you want to get out on the road and just cruise.
Temperatures letting up a little bit, like Oktoberfest is coming. Legendary Honda Goldwing, legendary Honda Rebel that's now an automatic. Lots to choose from and lots of easy riding.
And the price range and the size of the bike, you have a wide variety.
We do, from entry points to the finest of the fine.
All right, check them out. Cycles of Jacksonville on Atlantic near Regency or their Facebook page.
Blue here for the Blue Crab House, located right off of San Jose. It's on Jewington Creek Road. They've been around since 1996. Indoor-outdoor dining. Also, takeout is available at the Blue Crab House. Open 4:30 to 9, Tuesday through Saturday. Sunday, noon until 9. Remember, Tuesday, $2 margaritas. Wednesday, $1 oyster night. How about the blue crabs? How about my personal favorite, the Canadian snow crabs? Whatever it is that you fancy, you get it right there. The Blue Crab House.
Hey, Jacksonville DDH. Dreamfinders Danny Hicken here with the scoop from Dreamfinders Homes, your national builder of the year. We've got first-year interest rates as low as 2.99% in homes in 20-plus communities throughout Northeast Florida. If you're house hunting, make sure your first pick Dreamfinders Homes, the proud official home builder of the PGA Tour, the Florida Gators, and your Jacksonville Jaguars. Visit dfhsalesevent.com today and tell them Dreamfinders Danny sent you.
Observe 1010 Day and get ready for the football weekend as the Franchi Show broadcasts live for happy hour at Big Dog Sports Restaurant in Orange Park. This Friday from 4 to 6. Help Big Dog celebrate 20 years of the best wings in town.
I'm here with Danny Van Sickle, director of the Electrical Training Alliance. Danny, tell me about your program.
Hey, Rick. We're a 4-year electrical apprenticeship. Our students start out making over $40,000 a year and right now make over $90,000 a year, including benefits. There is no tuition or student debt. You just have to apply and get accepted.
Did you say no tuition and no student debt?
You heard that right, Rick. Once you're accepted to the program, your only cost for the books and the course fees. About $800 a year.
That sounds like an amazing opportunity. How can I learn more?
Just go to etajax.org and you can apply there.
Apply by November 6th.
Navy Mutual was created by service members for service members, so we know what it means to serve. Our policies have no active duty service restrictions, so you can rest assured that you're covered no matter your duty station, home or abroad. To go even further, we promise that premiums will not be higher for those who serve in dangerous environments, including aviation, diving, or on deployments. Let us help you protect those you love the most. Learn more at NavyMutual.org.
Hey, Hicken here. Tired of glasses or contacts? Discover customized vision solutions at Bowne & Associates. Dr. Bowden's team offers cutting-edge options like Evo implantable Collamer lenses or refractive lens exchange and classic LASIK, designed to fit your life. Picture perfect vision for reading, driving, or just enjoying the day. It's easier than you think. Call now for your free screening. Bowden Eye & Associates, they're keeping the First Coast focused.
Instant Keys. You don't have to go to the dealer. Instant Keys comes to you.
Instant Keys saves the day if you have lost or broken keys. They can program new keys and remotes for nearly every make and model of vehicle at a fraction of the dealership cost. Fast, honest, and reliable locksmith service. Call 722-1111.
Instant Keys. Instant Keys. You don't have to go to the dealer. Instant Keys comes to you.
Life is about choices and the decisions you make. I'm David Robbins with Epstein & Robbins. If you're convicted of a DUI, you'll have to face severe consequences. Walking through the doors of the courthouse or appearing at a bond hearing can be extremely intimidating. Without the right lawyer, you're likely to make the wrong decision. Let our team help you make the right decisions in court. Epstein & Robbins, the right choice.
Epstein & Robbins, fighting for your rights since 1975.
1010XL, presented by Farah and Farah, exclusive injury law firm of the Jacksonville Jaguars. When it's game time, Farah doesn't flinch. Now, another great guest on the Checkmate Coatings phone line.
Hello.
Your floor's missing piece.
Back here on 1010XL and 92.5 FM in the city of Jacksonville, we are glad you are with us. The Jaguars and the Seahawks, Sunday, 1 o'clock. Of course, you'll hear the game right here on 1010XL, 2 hours after the Jaguars and the Seahawks go final. Myself, the Pro Bowler Leon Searcy, and the coach, Gerald Ingram, will be at Hurricane Grill and Wings in San Marco for the 5th quarter. Speaking of the coach, let's go to the man with 18 years of running back coach experience in the National Football League, my buddy Gerald Ingram, always kind enough to join us here on Hacker After Dark. Coach, how we doing?
Oh, it's a great day in Jacksonville after a win like that. It's phenomenal.
There's no doubt about it, Coach. Let's recap Kansas City, 4-1, and talk about the roller coaster of emotions from being down 14-0 and the fumble at the goal line to coming back to tie it to the Devin Lloyd 99-yard interception, the referees giving you the business on that non-interference call that led to the Trevor pick, but then ultimately Trevor scoring the game-winning touchdown with 23 seconds to go. That'll be a regular season game, Coach, that we don't forget for quite some time.
No, that's a very historic game here in Jacksonville, and it's been a while since the city of Jacksonville has been so electric. You know, a lot of people came out to that game to show their support, and the preparation for the Jacksonville team to play the way they did. To sum it up, is resilient. They fought through so much adversity within themselves with all the other issues that happened on the field. I think they grew as a team. People grew as players out there. It was great to see good things happen.
You know, we always talk about, and William Cohen always talks about the physicality, wanting this to be a physical football team. And my goodness, when you go head-to-head with Houston, San Francisco, and Kansas City in 3 consecutive weeks, you win all 3 games, and you can argue you were the more physical team in all 3 contests. This team is showing how physical they are.
You know, they're a team that's listening, and you couldn't ask for anything more as a coach. You know, when the players start to rally around themselves and they want to be accountable to themselves and making plays. There are a lot of playmakers out there that raise their level of play for each other to win this game. And that's the most important thing that we're seeing right now is the togetherness, the fight that they have, the fight and the dog that they have, it was an intense, hard-hitting game, and they showed us something. They showed America something being on prime time that's how they want to play Jaguar football.
The coach, Gerald Ingram, with us here on Hacker After Dark. Coach, it was the Trevor Lawrence experience, right? There was some head-scratching. There was some bad. There was certainly some good. There was everything in between. How would you assess Trevor's performance against Kansas City?
Well, I think as a team, it was tough in the first half. There were some things that that Kansas City was doing. Obviously with the defensive coordinator, he was trying to confuse them with, the difference between is it two high, is it single high, and is it blitz, and I think they did a great job at halftime in making that adjustment. And in the second half, they didn't go away from what they believed. They came out running. And I think it starts up front. The offensive line, I thought, did a great job. I thought the running backs did a great job in protecting the quarterback. They did a great job catching the ball as well as running. In a tough physical game, I take a 3, 4, 5, 7-yard run any time of day because you can still play action the ball and do those kind of things. And there were, Hunter shows that every week he's something special out there when he has a chance to catch the ball. Most impressive thing offensively, they pushed the ball up the field. BT, he looked like the player that we thought he should be, so there were some people out there that, rose up, and Parker the receiver group made plays. The offensive line finished blocks. They did everything they could to protect the quarterback. The sacks that they got were when he made attempts to run inside and they made a play. But as far as just outright, blatant sacks, I don't think that occurred. I think Trevor played his best game to date and showed his natural ability to run. And he listened that his legs can make a difference. And it made a difference on Kansas City's defense and how they have to attack him. And they weren't ready for that. And that was good to see. And it made a difference for everyone. So, that transition, I thought his accuracy made a difference. He didn't throw any wild balls from that standpoint. He was more consistent with the ball. He made some great throws out there. BT made a big play. Our receivers put themselves in, and he put them in great situations to make a play. So it looked like a lot of weapons out there, which make a difference. And, the most important thing that's different from the past is they found a way to close the game, and Trevor found a way to win a game at the end. So they played against an elite team, elite quarterback, and they can play with anybody in their belief.
You mentioned Brian Thomas, Travis Hunter. They combined 7 grabs for 140 yards. I want to end with a thought on the defense and a preview of Seattle. But 18 years for you in the National Football League. You got a couple of 2 Super Bowl rings on your finger as a running backs coach with the New York Giants. You're the perfect person to ask. Does the casual fan listening tonight, Coach, have any idea how tough that was for Trevor Lawrence to be able to get up after tripping not once but twice on Monday Night Football in front of the entire country? And, oh, by the way, with the Kansas City Chiefs defense out there, and have the presence of mind to get that ball in the end zone?
Oh, it was great. All you can say is happy birthday, Trevor.
Yeah.
Happy birthday. And thank you for your efforts. It meant so much to the team, him, everyone, to see that happen to a team like Kansas City Chiefs.
Quickly, Coach, Devin Lloyd, a 99-yard interception return for a touchdown. If they voted for NFL Defensive Player of the Year right now, I'm not so sure Devin Lloyd isn't the best NFL defensive player in the league. What a season he is putting together.
Oh, talking about being an opportunistic individual right now, he's playing well above what he has in the past. And, hopefully this is a new mark for him. All he's doing is making his confidence every week grow and build. And it's great to see someone like that be deserving of what he's doing.
All right, we want to see how the Jaguars responded to adversity. Again, the coach Gerald Ingram with us here on Hacker After Dark. That was what Liam's Cohen message has been. We've all asked it. How do you respond to adversity? Because in the past, this team has not done very well with that. I think we have that answer. Now, Coach, it might be as interesting to see how they respond to success, because they're getting a lot of national love this week. People are telling them how great they are, and you hope that they don't read their press clippings or smell their flowers or whatever analogy you want to use. As a coaching staff, how do you keep this team on edge?
Well, because, playing on Monday night, you have to switch gears as fast as you can. There are many times we didn't look at the game. We kind of, glazed over the game as fast as you can. You got to get on to the next opponent. So, probably what he is trying to address to them is you have to do the right thing right now. You got to take care of your mind, your body and soul, and get ready for the next opponent. You got to put this behind you. It's an extremely emotional game. We want to play hard. We want to practice hard, and we want to enjoy the win hard. But it's a short week. It is what it is. We got to get ready for the best memories of our life right now. We can't think about how well we played on Monday. We got to think about how good we're going to play on Sunday. That's all that matters right now. All the distractions of people talking about how great you are, this and that, how great you might not be, you use that as a catalyst, as a motivation, okay? How great you are, that's in the past. Only thing that matters is the next play, the next game, the next situation. We've played all these teams. Now we're reaching different hurdles every week that we can play with anyone if we prepare and think like and play hard and make everybody accountable to each other. So he's saying all the right things. Each week, the best motivation you have in learning is winning by learning. So you got the captivative audience in the locker room. So now they're not thinking about running around, playing around, doing this, doing that, enjoying how much everybody's kissing my ass, all those kind of things. Hey, the best win is the next win. That's the best win. And then the win after that. And then by the end of the season, you count your wins and you say, you know what? Because when we won the Super Bowl, I'm going to tell you something. The first thing that came to my mind in that Rocky moment that Rocky Balboa had was all the hard work and the families that helped you get through it and the players that helped you get through it. And it was a lot that you go through that started way back when you brought this team together, not knowing what this year. Some guys are wondering, I don't even know if they're going to win 1 game, 2 games with a first year. They're bypassing that at an early date. This doesn't happen all the time. Now, people every week are going to say, well, when does the wall hit? That's what you're saying to the team. There is no wall. We put it behind us. Just remember what they said about you before you started. You weren't good enough. We don't know if you're good enough to be on this team. We don't know if you're good enough to win the division. Okay? People wrote you off for the first 4 games. Now you're proving them 1 week at a time. Doesn't matter what you did last week. What it matters, what do you do this Sunday?
Coach, as we wrap up, we got 2 minutes to go. An interesting dynamic when Seattle comes in here. Sam Darnold, the quarterback now of Seattle, is playing well, was in Minnesota last year with Grant Udinski. Grant Udinski spent every day with Sam Darnold last year. Of course, Udinski now on the Jaguar staff. How valuable will that be for the Jaguar coaching staff to pick Udinski's brain about Sam Darnold?
I think to a little bit. The thing is going to be what the players see on tape and what you can take advantage. It's just like last week. They did. You look, they studied the opponent and they knew what was coming next. And it was bend, don't break to the extreme. We actually won a different way. We didn't win with 3 turnovers and this and that and so forth. The offense had to elevate and find a way to actually be where we wanted them to be to win. So now we're saying offense, defense, special teams takes everything to win. We're coming closer and closer. We haven't played a perfect game, but it doesn't matter. Not many teams do play a perfect game. Now, we're playing Seattle, and you're playing you're playing a veteran quarterback. They're scoring points. Can you score the same amount of points that you had this week or more? Because they're feeling down about themselves for losing last week because they feel better than that. So they have something to prove. You have something to prove. Handle your business like you have every week. Come into the Jacksonville Stadium knowing that you got your hard hat on. We aren't thinking about what happened last week. You let everybody else think about what happened last week. Everybody thinks you're going to hit a wall. You're not going to hit a wall.
It's an interesting dynamic. Short week for Jacksonville. Seattle, on the other hand, does have to travel some 3,000 plus miles. Seahawks, Jaguars, Sunday, 1 o'clock. You'll hear it right here on 1010XL. 2 hours after the game goes final, myself, the Pro Bowler Leon Searcy, and the coach Gerald Ingram will have the fifth quarter for you live from Hurricanes Grill and Wings in San Marco. Coach, appreciate you as always. I will see you Sunday evening, my friend.
Enjoy some great football, Ryan.
1010XL is your home for play-by-play of Bishop Kenny football.
The Crusaders march to St. Augustine for a Friday night fight against the Falcons. Bishop Kenny Menendez at 7 on 92.5 FM.
Get ready. Week 6 of the NFL season is officially here. Your Jacksonville Jaguars are gearing up to go head-to-head with the Seattle Seahawks in our crucial catch game dedicated to the fight against cancer. Join us October 12th at Everbank Stadium as we raise awareness through early detection, risk reduction, and education. Lock in your tickets now at jaguars.com/tickets or call 904-633-2000. We'll see you at the bank.
Hey folks, this is Denny Thompson, and when it comes to protecting my home, I turn to Tyson, the leaders in state-of-the-art home security right here in Jacksonville. Their AI cameras and smart doorbells are top-notch, keeping an eye on what matters most. Whether you're moving in or upgrading, Tyson offers flexible packages, rent or own, with specials on the first 3 years. Ramp up now for the holidays, the perfect gift for you or someone you love. Call Tyson today at 590-7979 for details.
Hello, First Coast. I'm sure by now you have seen our bright green GFL trucks and containers throughout the greater Jacksonville area. We're an industry leader in solid waste and would love the opportunity to earn your business. We're committed to customer service, reliability, and have an unwavering focus on safety. Whether commercial or construction, let us haul your waste away. Call 904-760-5880 to get a quote today from GFL, Green for Life.
Nothing like a hot shower. Wait, why is the water up to my ankles?
It's the dreaded clogged shower drain. Hair, soap scum, and last week's mystery goo.
It's touching my toes!
Don't panic. Call the pros at Duck Duck Rooter. We'll tackle plumbing, septic, and even the nastiest shower clogs. Call 904-862-6769 or visit duckduckrooter.com. Duck Duck Rooter. When you're stuck, call the duck.
Hey, David again here with Royal Pest Services. It's that time of year when rodents start making their way into our homes. Layson, tell them what they need to get in.
A quarter-size hole.
That's right. That's all they need. Hey, tell them where to go for a free attic and exterior inspection.
Visit RoyalPestServices.com.
If you're ready to transform your yard with a fence that stands out, elevate your curb appeal with Superior Fence and Rail. Superior takes pride in offering first-class service, friendly installers, and unmatched fence products. Mention this ad and get $250 off your next project. It's time to get off the fence and call today.
When you're on the fence, about a fence, SuperiorFenceandRail.com.
Brian and Angela Wall here with Window World. Hurricanes happen in Florida. That's not news. But what happens even more often than hurricanes are home break-ins. And if security is important to you, you might want to look into hurricane-rated impact windows.
What you may not know is that hurricane-rated impact windows not only help protect your home in case of a hurricane, but they also offer another level of security for your home.
Have you seen those videos on YouTube that show people trying to break through an impact window? A thief is way too lazy to spend his energy trying to break through one of our impact windows. That's why he doesn't have a real job like you. He'd rather break your non-impact window while you're at work. Window World has high-quality, very affordable hurricane-rated impact windows to help protect your home from hurricanes and from lazy thieves.
Call us today at 904-443-7001. Get a free estimate and see for yourself. You save energy, get more security, and the windows add value to your home. With all Window World windows, you get the best guarantee in the window replacement business.
Window World,
simply the best for less.
And thank you for your business.
1010XL, presented by Farah and Farah, exclusive injury law firm of the Jacksonville Jaguars. Focused, fueled, fearless, Farah.
Now the cool down with Donovan Air, Electric and Plumbing, keeping Jack's cool since '87.
Back here on 1010XL and 92.5 FM in the city of Jacksonville. We are glad you are with us. Well, everything was great for Florida State up until the last week and a half, right? They lost to Virginia, then they lost to Miami, and now all of a sudden, Florida State is sitting at 3-2 on the year and really at a crossroads of their season with a home game against Pitt coming up on Saturday. Let's talk about all of it with Kurt Weiler of Tomahawk Nation. He's certainly one of our guys in Tallahassee, and Kurt's always kind enough to join us here on 1010XL. Kurt, how you doing, man?
I'm doing well. Probably doing better than those in the Florida State building at the moment.
Yeah, look, the last time you and I talked, all was right with the world, right? A big upset over Alabama. They played 2 scrimmages and beat, East Texas A&M and Kent State, 3-0, ranked in the top 10 in America. And then, bam, a gut-wrenching double overtime loss to Virginia, and then Miami. I think the final score might have been closer than maybe the game looked at times. I mean, what's kind of the vibe over there in Tallahassee after 2 straight losses?
I think you talked about the crossroads, and I think that is very much where things are at, because I think the truth of the matter is, and what I've kind of been saying is, I mean, you saw the talent disparity, I think, in that Miami game. They were able to overcome the talent disparity against Alabama. Alabama's kind of looked like a different team since. I've started to hear some people kind of discredit that a little due to week one-ness. It kind of feels like Florida State's going to have to look like that more the rest of the way. I mean, against, frankly, less talented teams. I mean, I think with Alabama and Miami, they've definitely played, I think, the 2 best teams they're going to play all regular season. I think you could maybe even throw in Virginia, and it's the 3 best teams they're gonna play the whole regular season potentially. Clemson's more talented, but haven't really looked greater than the sum of their parts this season. So I think these next few weeks, you're looking at a run of games where Florida State will be the more talented team, and can they flex that? Can they look like that? Can everything kind of come together? Because the offense looked good against Virginia. I thought the defense on the whole, outside of some big plays, looked good against Miami. But it hasn't been cohesive the last 2 weeks, and that has Florida State, clinging to a top 25 spot just barely in the last one. And I think really some questions going into that Pitt game on Saturday that feels pretty important, because it feels like they cannot go from 3-0 to 3-3.
It's crazy how things can change so quickly. I mean, we were talking about 3-0 and in the top 10, and now all of a sudden, if you take in these 2 losses, Mike Norvell is 5-12 in his last 17 games as head coach of Florida State. They can't seemingly win a conference game either. I mean, how much trouble could he potentially be in if things go south here in the next month?
I mean, they would have to go quite south for it to reach that, because the lingering thing with him remains the $55 million or $50-some million buyout. That is like, it would be historic for Florida State. It would be so much more than they paid Willie Taggart. I'm still not in a place where I imagine that'll be the case, but I think kind of the frustration with the Florida State fan base of the moment is because of that buyout and then the timing of it, how it happened, and him getting it instead of going to Alabama, whether he was the choice or not. It all kind of came right off of the 13-1 season, the playoff snub when things were good. Things have not been good since. And I think with questions about the buyout, I think it's sure if things went really south, you might have to do something and just find a way to make that work, as tough as that would be as an athletic department. But I think it's more the concern is with the buyout situation, is Florida State just kind of settling into a place of mediocrity, of being a fine team, of being a consistent bowl team that just has a hard cap ceiling. Because obviously, the next however many games will tell the tale. I think Florida State will be favored in its next run of games. They're 10-point favorites in Pitt. They're going to be favored at Stanford. I think Wake Forest is after that. It's a run of games they should win. And if they look good doing it, maybe water finds its level a bit of this being a good, not great team. Not top tier team, but a solid fringe top 25 team. But I think it's a tough pill to swallow if that's what Florida State is in this era under Mike Norvell after, seeing it can be what it was 13-0 2 years ago. But it's a tough pill to swallow.
Kurt Weiler of Tomahawk Nation with us here on 1010XL in Jacksonville. As far as Tommy Castellanos, I heard an interesting analogy from a buddy of mine that I was watching the game with, and I think he's right. And I think, we've talked about it in the past. A perfect play call for Castellanos would be, all right, everything go haywire, and I'll make a play on one. Ready, break. But that's not really sustainable in an offense, right? You gotta kind of run the offense. He's really good when plays break down and he can use his legs and scramble or find guys downfield. But what is the thought about Castellanos moving forward after these last couple of weeks?
I think, he, to his credit, I think what you wanted to hear, he kind of took the loss on himself. He is a guy who, also to his credit, is always willing to do a post-game press conference. He did them after both their losses the last 2 weeks. He did it at Virginia. He did it Saturday against Miami. And he kind of said, this loss is on me. And I don't think that's entirely true. I think there were plenty of other things that went wrong. It's not like he lost them the game. And frankly, I think a part of why it was a erratic performance at times and why it felt like there were times where he was pressing, where he was trying to do too much, where that was because he was kind of under siege the entire game. Pro Football Focus had him, I think, on 56 dropbacks. Miami pressured him 42 times. Florida State lost the right tackle, Michael Pettis, early in that game. And he had been kind of, I think, graded out as the best pass blocker. And you notice when they kind of had to shuffle the line. I think we've talked about concerns about the depth of that offensive line, feeling okay about the top five and some concerns about the depth. And I think that played out in a major way. It sounds like it's not going to be a long-term thing for Pettis, but it was important in that game because that's a really good Miami defensive line, and it felt like you really needed your best five out there. And I think once you had to shuffle things around, I think they moved one of the guards out to tackle, put someone new in at guard. That really made things tough for him. But, I think you're seeing the limitations of that we thought he had as a passer. The Alabama performance was great, and I think you can, in a lot of situations, design great offense for him. I think we saw against Alabama a game plan where it wasn't waiting for things to go haywire. But, a lot of the trick plays that had worked, Miami was all over. It was a really disciplined, talented Miami defense until the fourth quarter where it felt like they took their foot off the gas a bit. But I'm curious similarly. A lot of it comes down to I'm curious how it looks these next few weeks he should have more time to operate. It shouldn't be as constantly under pressure against a NFL loaded defensive line, and we'll see how it looks because he similarly does feel like he's at a crossroads.
Couple more for Kurt Weiler, Tomahawk Nation, one of our guys over in Tallahassee, Florida State and Pitt coming up this Saturday there at Doak Campbell Stadium. The one thing I will say about Florida State, the final thought about Saturday, at 28-3. It would awfully quick and easy to pack up shop and say this is not our night. Boy, they did battle, and to get it within a possession and an onside kick there with a minute to go, there is something to be said for that.
Yeah, they to their credit were the team that was more able to sustain drives in that game. So much of Miami, they had a few drives, but so much of what Miami did was big plays. I think they hit 4 passes of 40-plus yards, some of them deep balls, some of them catch and runs. There were some problems with coverage, but Florida State shut down the run pretty well, which I wasn't sure they would be able to do against that offensive line and that offense. And that made it where Miami, Florida State ran a lot more plays and kind of wore down that Miami defense. And I think that is one encouraging thing you could say. Florida State at moments had probably more success running the ball. I'm sure they finished with more rushing yards. And so I think you like to see that, but it's funny. There are kind of some phrases, Mike Norvell's going to say in a post-game press conference. He's one of those coaches who somewhat follows a script. And I think people were not in a mood after they were dominated to that 28-3. There was nothing fluky about that Miami lead. I don't think people really wanted to hear I liked the fight. They put up fight. It was, sure, it's great. But it makes it almost that much more frustrating of if you worn down like that, what happens if you don't get in a 28-3 hole? Can you win that game?
Yeah, it's a valid point. All right, Florida State and Pitt. Now, here's my thought, Kurt. You're coming off a big game against Miami, a nighttime game. Doak Campbell Stadium was rocking. You lose the game. Now a noon kick, right, on Saturday against Pitt, a team that's Not very good, although, boy, they put a number on Boston College last week. Maybe they're playing a little bit better. Any concern about Florida State in this game on Saturday?
I think there's absolutely, there has to be some level of concern just from some PTSD that the Alabama game, I think, put to sleep has kind of come right back to the surface with the fan base. You're right. I think if I had to bet, and I could be totally proven wrong, I think that Pitt game against Boston College says more about Boston College. They're 1-4. They're not particularly good. I mean, they've lost to Stanford and Cal and now Pitt. Like, that's none of those teams I think are especially good, and yet they lost all three of them. But they benched Eli Holstein, the Alabama transfer, Saturday, and started a true freshman, an 18-year-old, and he put up some good numbers. And given it was at home, it was against Boston College, it's going to be a lot harder doing that in Doak. But the timing of that may not be great for Florida State. I mean, who knows? There's a world where Doak, first road start, gets to a true freshman, and he doesn't play nearly as well. But there's also a world where having success in his first start gave him some confidence, and that could be a challenge. It might be bad timing on that front for Florida State. And obviously, I think the front seven of Pitt's always going to be good defensively under Pat Narduzzi. It's kind of his MO. And so I think it will be an interesting test. I mean, they're 10-point favorites. I think they cover that. It will tell me something, because I don't think Pitt's by no means a bad team. But I think certainly, I think there have to be at least you can't go in too confident to this given what you've seen recently.
Kurt, tell the Florida State fans over here in Jacksonville, man, about Tomahawk Nation and the coverage you have leading into the Pitt game.
Yeah, I write features and columns for them. I wrote a column after the Miami game about the Florida State, the trenches, and kind of how you saw the difference in recruiting that's made in the Miami Florida State trenches, and the difference that played on both sides of the lines in the game. Actually, I'm doing some work for Deadspin. I wrote a Miami column about, how it sure looks like this looks like the team that's going to break through and win the ACC, and who knows, maybe more. I mean, the national title game is in their home stadium if they happen to get there. So for any Miami people, I have that on Deadspin as well that you can find.
Kurt Weiler, one of our guys over in Tallahassee, TomahawkNation.com. Kurt, appreciate it as always, man. We'll talk soon.
Sounds good, Ryan. Thanks.
And thank you to Kurt Weiler, Tomahawk Nation, for joining us tonight here on Hacker After Dark. Kurt's certainly one of my guys over in Tallahassee when it comes to Florida State, and a big game for Florida State, right? They're reeling right now, 3-0 and in the top 10, and all was right with the world. All of a sudden, you lose a double overtime game at Virginia. You come back, and you're beaten pretty soundly by your rival Miami, and now you're 3-2, and people are thinking, uh-oh. And a big game, a noon kick over in Tallahassee against Pitt, which, again, I think is certainly a crossroads game for Florida State at the middle point of their season. So we certainly spent some time on college football, but as you can imagine, a large majority of our program tonight was focused on the National Football League and the Jacksonville Jaguars. The Jaguars did get back to work earlier today down at the Miller Electric Center, beginning preparations for the Seattle Seahawks, the 3-2 Seattle Seahawks coming to Jacksonville Sunday, 1 o'clock. Of course, you'll hear the game right here on 1010XL. I was down in the Jaguar locker room earlier today, brought you some one-on-one conversations as well. We will also do that tomorrow as Jacksonville and Seattle. A short week for the Jaguars, right? Playing on Monday night. But Seattle is having to travel like 3,000 miles. I believe they're actually coming in on Friday. They're one of those teams that likes to get there a couple of days early when they're traveling across the country. So interesting dynamic. And plus, when you consider Sam Darnold, the quarterback for the Seahawks, who did he spend like every day with last year in Minnesota? Grant Yudinski, who's now here in Jacksonville. So you wonder how that might play into some of the game planning going on for Sunday's contest. Well, again, that will just about do it, man. Crazy busy Wednesday night edition of Hacker After Dark. We certainly appreciate you guys hanging out with us here on 1010XL and on 92.5 FM. We have a ton of people to thank. Again, Kurt Weiler, Tomahawk Nation, talking Florida State. Thank you to the coach, Gerald Ingram, 18 years coaching experience in the NFL. a couple of Super Bowl rings on the coach's finger. Always love getting his perspective on the Jaguars as they begin preparations for the Seattle Seahawks. Likewise, my buddy Leon Searcy, former Pro Bowl offensive tackle for the Jacksonville Jaguars, joined us in hour number 1. You hear Leon every day on Prime Time. You get him weekly here on Hacker After Dark. And this Sunday, 2 hours after the Jaguars and the Seahawks go final, myself, the coach Gerald Ingram, and the Pro Bowler Leon Searcy will have the 5th quarter for you live from Hurricane Grill and Wings in San Marco following the Jaguars-Seahawks matchup. Now, we will be back tomorrow night on a Thursday, and we will do it all over again beginning at 8 o'clock. Dylan Denmark was your producer tonight. Dylan, great job as always. I'm the hacker Ryan Green. And again, Jacksonville, thank you for spending part of your Wednesday evening with us right here on Hacker After Dark on 1010XL and on 92.5 FM. So for all of us here on HAD, have a terrific remainder of your Wednesday evening, and we will talk to you again tomorrow night on a Thursday beginning at 8 o'clock. Until then, good night, Jacksonville.
Gator fans are known to get rowdy.
Especially